Hello and welcome back to the channel. It is I, Ken Lavigne, singer slash vocal coach. And today I just want to offer up a few thoughts about Rush going out on tour once more. They're hitting the road. This tour is called 50 something. And of course, they're doing it without their beloved drummer, Neil Peart, who died in 2020, I believe. And replacing Neil just probably seemed unthinkable at the time. Rush, of course, has had a 50-something, multi-decade-long career in the music industry and enjoyed a tremendous success. So this feels a bit strange in some ways to those who are devoted fans of the band and understand the integral role that Neil Peart played in the formation of the band, the sound of the band, everything to do with them. They're writing the lyrics, all of the songs. They were of his genius. And of course, they're replacing Neil with Anika Nilles, who is, well, let's just face it, she's a superstar drummer, absolutely unimpeachable, really, her drumming and her playing and the groove and the power and the ferocity that she brings to her drumming, I think is going to add so much to that. But of course, it's kind of bittersweet. I was having a conversation with one of my students about this, who is like, I'm a Rush fan, but he's like uber Rush fan. He was there when they were inducted into the Hall of Fame, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So he was describing that to me, and we were chatting through this and what he was planning to do, how he was thinking about this, and he really put things into an interesting perspective. He was, like I said, an uber fan of Rush, and really because of Neil and Neil's influence on the sound of the band, the lyrics, and the genius behind all of that. And so he sort of expressed to me that, you know, if they often ask this question, you know, when you're sort of getting to know someone, it's like if you could have a conversation with anyone living or dead, who would it be? And he's like, oh, it would have to be Neil Peart. I have so much genuine interest in what was the inspiration, because the music affected him so much. And I think, so for him, learning about Rush going out on tour was like, he sort of said it's kind of bittersweet, you know, because it's missing something. It's missing that element that he was so drawn to. I can sort of sit with that, and I can really understand that. I still feel that any opportunity we can see Rush live, even in a different format, is still a bit of a gift. And not just a gift for the Rush fans of today, but the Rush fans that are waiting in the wings behind us, and there are many. So I was telling him this story that this past summer, my son, who has been studying the bass. He's 15. He's just turned 16. And he has a little band that they got together, a little power trio of their own. And they've been diving into music. And he said, hey, Dad, listen, we've got this gig. It's an outdoor free gig in our little town. And he said, we need a singer. And I said, I'm going to do it, but only if we can play Rush. That's the caveat. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do at least one Rush song. And he was pretty new to the bass, but he dove into it, and he became a huge Rush fan as a result of that. Just learning the music, learning to play those bass lines. And so I sang along with him. It was wonderful and amazing. And I realized that there's a whole generation waiting in the wings just to experience Rush, and to have that opportunity to see them live, I think it'll be formative, as it was for so many of us Gen Xers and millennials. And I think, you know, to so many of you out there who might be Rush fans, you might be thinking, oh, it's not going to be the same. The drummer's going to be different. I actually don't have any issues with the drumming. I actually don't think it's going to be a problem at all. Like I said, I heard Anika is she's an absolute beast on the drums. She's going to be amazing. The polyrhythms are just off the charts, and I just have that feel and vibe. Anything that I've seen of her has been incredibly impressive. And so I don't actually stand worried at all about that part of the production. My only concern is that as we age, our voices change, and they deepen, and they lose some flexibility. And I'm getting older. My voice is changing. I have to respect and honor that, and that it's not going to have the same flexibility as it once had when I was, 25. But I think that's my only concern is like, will Geddy's voice hold out? I know it's not going to be the same. I have a feeling they probably already have a plan around that. Like if it were me, I know it's not me and I'm not Geddy, but if it were me, I would be thinking, let's just have a few more instrumentals, and let's drop tune things a little bit, maybe down to E flat or D or whatever, because those songs were really, really high. And he's got that distinctive vocal characteristic in his voice, and it's very high, heady tone. And, love him or hate him, I mean, you don't mix up his sound for anyone else on the planet. And I think it would be difficult for anyone to live up to the recordings that they did when they were, 20, 30, and 40, when they're like 75. If I placed you in a higher age bracket, Geddy, please, I apologize. I'm just worried for you. I just want the best for you. I want the best for this tour. I'm lining up for tickets just like everybody else. So I just wanted to put that out there. And one other thought too. A couple of years ago, I went to Primus, and they did a concert of Farewell to Kings, and it was a tribute to the album that helped shape them as musicians. And it was a like note for note, absolutely pristine. The concert, the musicianship, the drumming, the bass lines, everything, all of those elements were there. Sonically, it was as good as you could get a representation of that album, Farewell to Kings, the Rush album, except for the singing. And that was a bitter disappointment to me. Well, I should have known, because that's not his forte. That's singing. He's not known as a singer. I'm talking about Les Claypool, the bassist and lead singer. I guess you can call him that. It was a real disappointment. And I was sort of thinking, like there are probably at least a dozen Filipino singers that would out Geddy in those moments when you need that Geddy Lee sound. And he was sort of half singing, and I was like, why would you spend so much energy and effort recreating something you absolutely love and then completely disregard the singing? That was just my disappointment. I don't know, maybe one of you guys who was watching this had seen an iteration of that concert. I saw it up in Vancouver. Maybe you saw that show. I don't know. You can leave those thoughts down below. I really am genuinely interested to know what your thoughts are on Rush going out on tour. Is it bittersweet for you? Are you just excited as a fan, as I am, that this is going to be an opportunity for you to take in the band once more, or maybe present the band to the next generation? Maybe your daughters are drummers, or maybe your son is a bass player. I don't know. To bring them along and just say, look at this awesome thing. This helped shape me. But I'm just going to leave that there, and you can leave your thoughts down below as well. Let me know, what do you think of Rush? What do you think of the band? And what do you think of this tour? And are you excited? Do you have your tickets already? Or are you waiting? I don't know what you'd be waiting for if you're a true fan. All right, so I guess we'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for taking time out of your super busy day and spending a few of those precious moments here with me. Seriously, much love and appreciation to you all, and we will see you next time.